Alright everybody, and this is going to be a basic tutorial on how to use a 3D program called Mixamo. It's basically you can import a character or 3D model into there, have him rigged for you, and then animate. And if you have an Adobe account or Mixamo account, you can set up like their basic, I think it's like 75 to 85 animations that are like free for you to use, and they usually cover all the basics that you would need and a little bit extra, so you're good. So what we're going to be doing is that I'm having some custom models, and well, based off of some character art that I had an artist draw, and then they're being moved into 3D, low poly 3D characters. But until that's done, we're going to be using some characters from you could use Open Game Art, but we're going to use Spriter's resource, but they have a model section, and we're going to be downloading one of their models over there. Now specifically, I will be going for a Halo character because I really like Halo, and it just means you can use pretty much anything. See, we need to go to models, so it should be blue. Go and type in Halo, and I mean we could go for any type of character. I mean that would technically work, but they want something full on T-pose, and T-pose would be, let's see, let's go for see if that would work. Don't think so. His arms aren't in T-pose, but we could maybe rotate his arms to be in T-pose. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. But we could also use a mutant. So let's download Mr. Elite. I'm basically building this tutorial to cover every single basic that you guys would come across. So we're going to actually just extract this model into the downloads file. And what we're going to do is I'm going to open up Blender. So Blender is a free 3D modeling software that we will be kind of using a little bit later on. So there that is, and then I just need to find where the Elite is in my downloads. We need to import an OBJ. Oops, wrong one. And we're just checking on the model to make sure when he was extracted from the game, it was done correctly. So we're looking for something called Special Elite, or just an Elite. There we go. See, it wasn't done correctly, so when we try to model it, it's not going to do it correctly. What we actually need to do, select everything, so double tap A. You're going to rotate 90 degrees, rotate it, and then at this point we want to double tap and then hit 180. Boom. What am I actually going to do right now is just delete these. Because they would actually mess with the modeling. The rest we can delete later. But here's our Elite. Make sure he's one big hulking model. Yep. Okay, so at this point we're going to hit front. So he is front. And then we're actually going to... Well, actually we could maybe get away with this. And then we want to export it as an OBJ. I'm going to export it on my desktop as elite export. Okay, now we're going to go to Mixamo. You need an account here. I think I already said this within Adobe or Mixamo. To sign up, it's free. We're going to browse our animations. You get a whole bunch of free stuff, but we're going to just upload a custom character. So go to desktop, and we should see one named Elite OBJ. And if he isn't facing forward when you import him, then something's gone wrong and you need to rotate him. Okay, so his chin, right there. His wrist, gonna be right there. His elbows, right there. His knees, right there. And his groin, right there. I'm gonna set his hand like this. Now, this may not import properly since he is not in T-pose. And when you hand animate it, it wouldn't actually be an issue. But if you're trying to use a model auto rigger like this program, you may have some issue. And it may take a little bit. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we had to switch over to another character because the Elite didn't rig properly. I'll look into that a little bit later. But this is from Halo CE. This is the female Marine pilot. And as you can see, she's actually animating really well. Again, we just put those points on certain parts of the body and it auto-rigged. We're going to hit next. It's going to tell you editing auto-rig, your character has been uploaded. We want to go into animate. And then we want to go into, basically we can search animations. So I'm going to do walk. As you can tell, it's in standard T-pose, which we need. That's how the character imported. We need it in T-pose. Let's do a walk, and we can do it in place so that we can see what it looks like. Don't think they'd actually be walking like that, but you know. And we can do, so we say she has a gun and she's shooting. We can put an animation to that. And because if you look at her arms, they're good, but they're not like spot on. So we actually need to space the arms a little bit apart. A little bit too far. And that should work. And if you set mirror, it basically just mirrors it. Alright, so to add this animation to this model, we're going to add it to this pack so it has a new custom pack. So we're going to say pilot marine underscore Anna, and that's just for animation pack. And then we're going to go back to walking, so she's going to need a basic walk. I think it would be a more basic walk. And what we can do is slow down the walk. 50, that's good. I don't think it would be the catwalk though. I think that's the closest we're going to get to it. So what we're going to do is add to the pack, so we now have 2 animations in there. And we're going to be, another one is going to be add some other animations. Add that one to the pack. And then add that one to the pack. I was trying to see if they have one that says wave, like you're waving at somebody. Dude, that'll have to do. It's not the best. Let's see. Let's do it. I think do I have another one that says, yeah, I have one that says shooting. But that's a pistol. But in case I want to add in a rifle. And then we are going to need one that has a reload. That one will do. Okay, so this is Pilot Marine animation. We're going to add this to my assets. So all these have been added to the assets. So we're going to go to View and Download. Queue download. So we want it to be standard FBX, 30 FPS on the frames, T-pose, keyframe reduction. That means limit, like sometimes in games you can't have an animation be 30 frames, maybe it's only 5 frames. I don't really care, so I'm just going to say none. It's going to queue the download, and it's going to queue it, and now it's ready for download, and now it's downloaded. And it's all over here. Okay, now what we need to do is go to my assets and click Pilot, Queue download, T-pose. Now at this point we're downloading a standard model, the FBX, because this is the first thing that we downloaded. This is the animation that have been aligned to the FBX model. So it is okay. So think of it this way: we have the pilot. It's been the bones have been named. They've been numbered. Everything's in sequence. The animation list that we just downloaded has been set to each one of those bones. All we have to do is put them together. You can do that. However, sometimes it does take a while for it to process on this website. I've tested with some open source 3D models. I've even done Link. So Link does have like a huge animation pack. So as you can see, it says character, animation pack, character, animation. So I do use this website, and I'm actually intending to use it for our project that we're going to be releasing next year. Now we're going to be going into Fragmotion in 3D Max Converter, so we can convert all of our FBX formats into a format that an earlier FBX format that Fragmotion can deal with. And I'll show you that over here. Where we can import all of the animations from Maximo. And you can use this as a free version. I have both as the free version and as the paid version. I'm using the free version so you guys can see what you have to deal with. That you do have this little annoying happy face, and occasionally you'll have a pop-up that's saying for 5 seconds you have to read this or whatever. But pretty much you're good. And then from here you can export it. So we're going to just say Let's see, save as. No, you have to use the export. Export selected. No. There we go, export. And you can export it to B3B, OBJ, MS3B, which I'm actually going to be using. But you can also do it to, I believe, you can just keep it as an FBX so that you can use it in Unity or whatever. But that's one way how you can take a static character that you really like but it has no animations, animate it, put it into a video game, you're good to go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move over to importing the character. So we're going to convert it into a format that Fragmotion likes, which is an earlier version of 3ds's Max FBX version. It's for some reason that it can't deal with the newer ones. So you can get a 3ds Max converter from, here we go. So it's FBX Converter 2013. And all I do is I convert it from the latest version over to a 2009 version. And then I import the model. So I go into imports and I import the FBX format. And then using all of the animation files, because if we go back over to Maximo, we have a list of FBX animations. This is not the model. This is just the rig, basically the bone structure doing the animation. And what we can do in Fragmotion is apply the animation to the bone structure that is already on our rigged model. And then at that point, we can then export it. So I think at that point that will be a separate video. This is getting kind of long. So in the next one, we're going to basically do everything else, which is to convert all the new FBX file formats into a 2009 version, import them into Fragmotion, set up all the animations, and then import them into a game engine. Now I'm using Coppercube, which uses a earlier, it does have FBX support, but only for static models and not for animated formats soon. Hopefully it will actually support new versions, but if you want to go straight into Unity, all you would do is go Maximo, merge all the animations or reference them. Actually, you could just reference them inside of Unity, or if you want to go with the older keyframe mode where you could basically just merge them like what we do now and then import it into Unity after saving it to FBX. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll upload it immediately, and comment down below on what you would like to see in the upcoming tutorials, and remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.